was a chilly November evening. The tree-lined country roads in South Wales coast were shrouded in dense fog, the foghorn giving warning signals every now and then. Though there were a few houses that were half a mile apart, giving the area a forlorn look. It was there, near a 3-storied mansion, his car got stuck in a ditch. Sheer inability to take his vehicle out of it made him walk towards that 3-storied mansion. He knocked on the door, but there was no answer. So he tried the lock, and the door opened. He entered the mansion, and there he saw a man dead in his wheelchair, and nearby stood a woman with a pistol in her hand. What will happen next? Without any compulsion, she said she killed the man who was her husband. And the suspense started building up when the unexpected guest promises her to help her by manipulating the surroundings. Just look at the way the story opened. I'll say this again and again. To put the readers on tenterhooks right from the first page to the last need a skill. But it is also not a prerequisite that every mystery or thriller should possess that salient feature. But out of 15 Agatha Christie books I've read, this one, The Unexpected Guest, had that quality. So before I talk about it further, hey, I am Shalet Jimmy, I am from India, I love books and I talk about them here. I am an avid crime fiction reader, hence they predominantly constitute my read and to be read list. But I assure you, I have other genres too. Welcome to Shalet Jimmy's Storyworld. The opening of The Unexpected Guest reminds me of Linwood Barclay's book No Time to Say Goodbye. The story opens like this. One day, Cynthia Biggie, a 14-year-old girl, woke up to the dreadful fact that her father, mother and brother had vanished without a trace. The other night before going to bed, she had seen them in flesh and blood and they were perfectly fine, but she had to wait for 25 long years to know what really happened. These kind of beginnings are capable enough to make a reader not to put down such a book until they know what really happened. And if you're looking for a book which is unputdownable, The Unexpected Guest could be the best choice. In this book, you will not find Christie's famous detectives Hercule Poirot, Miss Marple, or Tommy or Tuppence. But don't you worry, that's not going to affect the flow or plot of the story in any way. The Unexpected Guest is in fact a play written by Agatha Christie, later adapted as a novel by an acclaimed journalist called Charles Osborne. He was a great theatre and opera critic, poet and a novelist. So coming back to her story, since our unexpected guest promised to help her, the first trap they would have to avoid would be the time of death. They would have to say something in such a way that the time of death should not challenge the lie they were going to say. So I was curious to know how they would manipulate the time of death, because it was sure to be revealed during the autopsy. Starkweather, yes, that is the name of her unexpected guest, concocted a story to save Laura Warwick. That is the name of the wife. So the story was that Starkweather, he heard a shot from the mansion and saw a man running from the mansion, running towards him, bumped into him and dropped the pistol and then vanished into the thick fog. But after autopsy, it was certain that the time of the death would not match the time when they said to have heard the shot. But as the story proceeded, I got my answer, which I'm not going to reveal to you. Christie had scattered a lot of clues here and there to confuse the readers. At the outset, we tend to think Laura might have committed the crime, but soon we will come across a lot of characters who could be potential suspects. Unlike other books, unlike her other books, this book has a very simple plot, but loaded with a lot of suspense. Throwing an unexpected climax is not unusual when it comes to an Agatha Christie book, but what is always unusual is the sheer climax. And the book The Unexpected Guest is no exception. So without revealing much, I would like to say she has easily established a fact through this book, that seeing is not believing. When Agatha Christie wrote a play titled Verdict, she had high hopes. She thought it would create history just like her other well-known play, Mousetrap, that gave about 2,239 performances. But it didn't do well. Even then, she was not dejected. Undeterred by the failure, she immediately came up with another play called The Unexpected Guest. It played for about a week at Bristol Hippodrome and then moved to Duchess Theatre at the West End of London, where it gave about 604 performances in 18 months. As a concluding note, I would like to say I review those books I like the most. And I love this book and I recommend it. Besides, this is an Agatha Christie book, so don't doubt, go for it. If you like my review, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Show some love. God bless.